What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's Q&A. It's time for a life update. It's time to have the chats. It's time to talk one-on-one. I'm actually very excited because it's the weekend right now. I stayed in, I'm so fresh, hangover free. It's a goddamn miracle. It's been a while. So yeah, I'm really excited to just sit down with you guys. I'm just like chilling, I'm in my flip-flops, and we're just gonna have a little chill time and just have the chats about everything. So these questions came from Instagram. Okay, I did a little question box, a little Q&A on my story. Go follow me there if you're not. And yeah, I think there's about 1,000 questions. So we're gonna go through a few of them and just kind of answer these off the cuff. I think that's how Q&As are done best. Before we start, I just wanna say this sick new t-shirt that I'm wearing is dropping this weekend from Alphalete. Use my code LIPSETT. These shorts are already live on the site. Best gym gear in the world, as you know, and I cannot wait to reunite with the whole Alphalete crew. There's a lot of questions about that in here. But yeah, my link and code is in the description box. Appreciate you guys if anyone picks that up and use my code. So let's go. There's no other way I would want to spend my Sunday morning than this. From your experience, what is the best way to take a positive out of every situation? By the way, I am not a life coach. If I need a life coach myself at times, but there's a lot of questions about positivity and open-mindedness, and I'm just gonna give my take on them. So perspective is how I make the positive out of a bad situation. There's always someone going through something way worse, or there's always someone who's gone through exactly what you're going through and came out absolutely fine. And oftentimes when we're going through something like a month, or maybe even 3 months, or 6 months, a year, give it a bit of time and you'll look back and be like, I cannot believe I was even worrying about that. It's not even a slight issue anymore. So perspective and time is gonna help you a lot on that. Sometimes I do freak out and have panic attacks, but we be okay in the end. How are you finding London? Do you see yourself staying? I'm absolutely loving London. Despite the year we've had, London was still a great move. It was still amazing and it's been very good to me. I think I wanna stay another year at least. Maybe I could end up living here. There was so much questions on. I'm gonna do a full London video on like how to move and my advice and what I wish people had told me before I moved here. But I think I'm gonna give it another year to experience it, without a lockdown. Even though, they did ease restrictions recently, so I've been able to enjoy some nice restaurants and bars and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna give it another year, I think, to get the full experience, but it's an amazing city. It's like, I equate it to the hub of Europe. It's like New York in Europe. It's so big, there's so much going on, and there's so many people to meet, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm loving it, and I'm gonna do a full video on London and the move. How do you keep motivated to go to the gym? So this is a pretty basic question, but again, this is just something I love to do. Like, imagine you're like a professional swimmer. It's like, how do you stay motivated to go to the pool and do laps every day? If you're a professional runner, you're an endurance runner. It's just what I like to do. I'm a personal trainer. I'm an online coach. I'm a fitness YouTuber, even though I might not look it. This is just what I love to do. So you'd really have to motivate me not to do it. And the question after this was, how do you get motivated to get back into the gym after Ibiza? That's what they said. So let's say after a time off. Again, I'm dying to go whenever I'm not on my routine. I'm dying to get back to my routine. So I just love it. So I'm sorry if that's not helpful advice, but what might be helpful is me telling you to find a training routine that you do love, okay? Even if it's CrossFit, I'm not gonna judge you, okay? Much love to all the CrossFitters out there. I think training has so many similarities to diet, in the sense that you need to find one that you can enjoy and sustain. It's just as important as having a sustainable diet, which I'm sure we'll talk about later in the Q&A. So yeah, find that training style that you enjoy, be it like, a certain split or a certain style of training or even a sport, something that keeps you active and exercising regularly is essential. Biggest obstacle you've had to overcome recently? I think it's the same as everyone. It's just everyone's plans just being, thrown in the gutter. What really kind of got to me was my competition, like the absolute state of me. I was like, I'll either find a way or make one. Nothing's stopping me. And then it's like, and everything's closed, no more events. I was like, apart from that. So that was obviously terrible, but what kind of helps me with that is, everyone's in the same situation. Like, the competitions, it's not like just I wasn't allowed to compete, no one was. So it's outside of my control, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, the whole year in general, like, it's not shaping out as any of us planned, but we're all just doing our best as we should be. And that's how you got to do it. You got to be resilient, you got to move on, and you just again got to apply some perspective and make the best out of every situation. Highlight from BIFA definitely was Mike's birthday on the boat. There was a moment where we was just with such a good crew. We all just kind of like took it all in. The music, the atmosphere, everything was just amazing. And we were just like, we've done something right in life to end up here. It was a nice moment, very present in the moment, and it was amazing. So yeah, that was probably the best day. It was honestly like, you felt like you're in a movie or something. It was crazy. And I'm also so glad that video, the 40-minute Ibiza vlog that I uploaded about 2 videos ago, I'm so glad that is on my channel. I'll always look back on that with fond memories. What's the rest of the year looking like for you, Lipsetti? So my main focus is on Project X, which is a physical product, and it's not like anything that I've ever done before. And it's really motivated me and kind of lit a fire up under my ass as well. And it's kind of like, people are like, are you actually starting a brand new company during these times? And I think, yes. Like I need something to excite me. I need something to pick me up. So I think it's kind of a good time to do it in a strange way. And then also another question was from actually Max Tuning saying, what's Project X? Max, you are one of the few people who know what it is. So don't try that shit on me. But yeah, Max has been giving me a lot of advice on the Project X that I've got launching soon. The only clue I will give is it has some similarities to Sarah Strips, Max's recent company that he launched. So Max has been amazing, giving me some advice on that, and it should be ready to go. I'm actually looking at it now. I'm actually looking at the product now. It should be ready to go in, I'm gonna say roughly 6 weeks. Who knows, things, as we've learned this year, things get thrown off track, but yeah, aiming to have it live, fully available worldwide in 6 weeks. So that's how the rest of the year is looking for me. And in terms of like, trips and stuff, I might try a little week or a weekend away somewhere in the next month or so, maybe in the next week, who knows. And then, it's just Christmas and trying to get Project X live. So that's it. That's how the rest of the year is looking, and I'm very grateful to have something to focus on. Now, this question was asked a lot. You thinking of trying TRT? And now, I'm sure you saw the recent video that Ryan did talking about his kind of new TRT protocol. Again, before that video went live, me and Ryan is one of the best guys you could ever meet in your whole entire life, by the way. I absolutely love Ryan. We're very close. And so obviously in Ibiza, before he made that video, we were speaking about it. We had a good chat about everything. So go watch his video on that. It's so good to see how open and honest he is. And I can tell you, from personal experience, they're his thoughts. That's exactly what he thinks. He says what's on his mind, and he's very open and honest. So, Ryan, I love you. Now, in terms of me taking TRT, this is something that I have actually spoken about. And here's a clip with me and Joey D from, I shit you not, 5 years ago, okay? Like TRT is another conversation, like when you get older and your natural testosterone drops, like, and you go on TRT, not necessarily like, you're not going on D-ball and shit. When you're on testosterone replacement therapy, your quality of life actually goes up, your sex drive, you've more energy. So when you're older, it's not even about like being aesthetic, it's about your actual quality of life. That's something I'll definitely do. Before we go on, can we actually give me some respect on how gracefully I've aged? Not a wrinkle. Well, few wrinkles. Maybe cameras are just getting better. That's probably it, to be honest. Probably aged terribly, but I just bought a better camera. Anyways, my thoughts are pretty much the exact same. I'm so open to taking TRT when I feel the need to. I'm 28 years old now. I feel great. I'm full of energy. The gains could definitely be better, but I've got a physique that I'm happy with. And I'm aware that, if I walk down the beach, it's going to be better than most people's physique. But like I said in the video, when I'm into my 30s, maybe 2 years time, maybe next year, my testosterone levels will all of a sudden tank. I don't know. I will definitely take TRT when I feel is the right time. And, again, I've looked into the research behind it, doing it responsibly. It's a good thing to do for older men. So yeah, I'm definitely open to TRT. And that's my thoughts on it. My answer is the same as it was 5 years ago. What a throwback that video is, by the way. Just me and Joe sat in a park in Dublin, not knowing what life holds for us. When is Dubai next on your agenda? So I was actually talking to the people that run Dubai Muscle Show, and I was had my own Lipsett fitness booth at that expo in 2018, and I love it. And so they said it's going to be going on this year, or 2021, you know, whenever it's on next. Again, we'll just have to wait and see. And that's one thing I miss so much is expos, events, meetups. And that was probably, along with my competition being cancelled, that was probably the biggest like hit that I took this year, or like, you know, thing that I just really enjoyed doing that I don't get to do anymore this year. So I'm really hoping that picks back up. Again, Body Power, FIBO, Arnold Expo, Australia. Like, I love traveling to somewhere where you have like an event and an expo to focus on. It's like you get to travel and go to a new place with an amazing group of people, and then also get to meet you guys as well. And you just always feel productive. You feel like, you know, you did something over the trip, and you've something to look forward to and look back on as well. So yeah, I really cannot wait for events and expos to come back, and even putting on my own events. You know, that's something I miss a lot. Hopefully next year, we'll see. What do you guys think? I love reading the comments. Do you think the world is going to open back up with events, concerts, even festivals? I don't know, you know, remember they said at the start, they're like 2 weeks lockdown? Who knows? When are you getting back with the Alpha crew? As soon as possible. I miss my crew so much, and it's whenever, so never mind events and stuff, as I just spoke about, even just hanging out with, you know, the smaller group is something that I really miss too. Whenever America allows more open travel from Europe, because remember, I'm in London right now. Whenever America allows some back and forth travel, I'm going to be on a plane to Texas. If you could give entrepreneurs in any field one specific piece of advice, what would it be? Without a doubt, it would be execute. Everyone's got a plan. Everyone's got like the next big Uber in their mind. You know, everyone's done out a business plan, but very few people actually pull the trigger and execute it. And again, YouTube, Instagram, I want to start a vlog, I want to start a fitness page. Everyone has these thoughts in their mind because it's so easy to think of a thought. You can think of anything you want. You don't have to do it. But very few people translate those thoughts into actions, as that is a very difficult thing to do. So execution, I say, even if it's like the odds are it's gonna fail, you should still do it for the experience. It's like jump out of the plane and figure out how to pull the parachute on the way down. That's my best piece of advice. And any successful entrepreneur that I look up to, that's how they've done it. That's how I've done it as well. Like just putting on my first event, start my first video, launch my first product, you know, seriously, it's, you just do it, okay? And then you figure out and improve as you go along. Scope for volunteering for Elon Musk's brain chip. So if you guys watch my Instagram stories, you'll notice that apart from fitness, I have a huge interest in stuff like artificial intelligence, consciousness, technology, outer space, the cosmos. It's like exercise for the brain, okay? You know, you work out your muscles, you should work out your brain as well and think about complex topics, okay? I think it's also a lot of fun. Yeah, in terms of Neuralink, Elon Musk's brain chip, I'd 100% sign up. Definitely. Stick that chip in my brain. Can stop carrying around this phone all day. It's like the phone will just be in your head. Great. What characteristics in people do you appreciate the most? I like people that talk about doing things. They're open-minded, as I said earlier. I think it's terrible that when you're with a group of people and they're always just talking about gossip and bitching and drama and everything, I think it's draining to be around, and I almost feel like, I feel uncomfortable, you know, when people are just slagging each other off, not in a fun way, and talking down on other people. So surround yourself with kind, outgoing people. And that's what I appreciate the most. A bit of kindness. I think after this year, we all need a bit of kindness. Be nice to each other. Do you still work towards getting personal best? Of course, that should always be your goal in training, is to be better than last time, okay? You know, even though after training for many years, you're not going to make such crazy strides as you did when you first entered the gym, that should still be your goal. Be it, you know, increasing reps on a certain exercise or increasing weight slightly. The goal should always be beat your personal best in some way, shape or form. And that's how you're going to keep making those slight improvements year by year. So it's obviously very hard and becomes mentally, it becomes more scrutinous as time goes on. But that, in my opinion, is what's going to separate an elite physique from an intermediate physique. What is your best time of your life? I saw a quote recently. It was like, the best time of your life was always 1 or 2 years ago. You'll always look back on a time and be like, oh, those were the good times. You know, oh, do you remember this? And you're probably going through the good times right now. Well, maybe not this year. But in general, we always look back on a certain time and you say, oh, that's the best time of my life. Oh no, that's the best time of my life. And then time passes by a little bit and you say, oh, you know, last year was the best time of my life. So live your best life today. Maybe Ibiza just there was one of the best times of my life. I'm sure I'll look back at that and I'll be like, that was the best trip ever. Even though not a single club was open. It's just funny how we think like that. So yeah, there's many best times of my life. I'm sure there'll be many more to come. Soft or hard pillow? Hard pillow for sure. I actually sleep on a stone in a cellar in the basement, just for mental toughness. Short muscle bellies and long tendons train different than someone with the different genetics. No, you're always going to just be doing the same movements. You know, you're doing your squats, you're doing your leg press, you're doing your bench. You know, you may have to work on your form differently than other people. You may find other exercises a little bit more awkward to do, but the foundations and the guidelines are going to be the same. What's your favorite part about yourself? I've got a lot wrong with me, but that's a good positive question. Favorite part about myself? Physique wise, probably my bicep peak. That thing looks absolutely ridiculous when you tense it. It looks like a right angle. I can't believe I put this stuff on the internet. I love it. Characteristic wise, I guess I'm resilient. You know, I'll always keep at something until I get it the way I want. You know, I'm not one to give up too easily, and I think that's affected my life positively. At what point were you able to quit your job and do YouTube full time? It wasn't like, you know, there was a day where I did quit my job, but it was still like a slow transition. You know, I was building up my YouTube and online business while I was working. And then once that made more money, again, I say this the whole time, it's called the magic number theory. Once your side hustle makes more than your main hustle, your main job, then it's finally safe to quit your job. I say don't quit your job until you've got a safety net there of something that you know you can go into, or else it's a bad gamble. You know, you can do it, but you know, it might not pay off and it might fail on you. So yeah, I remember the month that when my online coaching and YouTube and everything made more money than my 9-to-6 office job is when I left, and I think I had maybe 30 to 40,000 subscribers. I'm not too sure, but yeah, about that. And again, you know, it's not exactly about subscribers. I know people with 10,000 followers on Instagram that are just really good at what they do, and they're making more money in their business from people with 100,000 followers. You know, it's not all just about followers and subscribers. You can also be a good businessman too, which is probably going to be more helpful. Obviously, the best is combination of both, is having a good online audience and good business skills too. But again, it's not one or the other. How much should you eat when you're losing weight and how much when you're gaining weight? So one extreme is as bad as the other, okay? If you want to gain weight, you should go about 300 to 500 calories above maintenance levels, and same if you want to lose weight. If you go too much above maintenance levels, personally, I feel sluggish, low on energy, I feel less agile, I feel, you know, bloated all the time, and there's no need for it as well to build muscle. You don't need that much calories. There's a certain law of diminishing returns. There's a certain point where more is not better. And then kind of same on the opposite side. If you go too low on your calories, you're gonna be hungry all the time, you're gonna be low on energy, and you're gonna feel weak in the gym and everything, and it's not good for retaining muscle on a cut. So I advise 300 to 500 above or below, depending on your goals. Extremism isn't good in any aspect of life. So yeah, don't go to extremes on any side of the board. Favorite sneaker overall, if any, I think I wear my Air Max most out of any shoe ever. Just go with everything. Favorite nights on Ibiza, pre and post lockdown. Pre-lockdown when the clubs are open, definitely DC-10. You're inside, then you go to the outdoor area and you like cool off, then you're back inside again. I love DC-10, or also Ushuaia. I'm definitely saying it wrong. Ushuaia. I say it Ushuaia. Just open air venues, absolutely amazing. And then post lockdown, when all the clubs are closed, and I was there recently, definitely the hotel I was staying at, Wiki Woo. There was always just good people around and good energy about the place. So yeah, they're my favorites pre and post lockdown. Any plans on buying a house anytime soon? So I think Joey D actually just put up a video on buying a house. So again, he's been doing such good videos on that. Go sub to Joe, I'm sure you already have. But yeah, that's something that it's constantly on my mind at the moment. And I'm trying to, figure out what to do. Do I buy in Dublin? Do I want to buy in London? Do I want to hold out until the market's a bit more stable? Just one thing, again, that I'm not an expert on, and it's property. And I wish when I was a bit younger that I learned more about the in and outs of property. And that's something I'm trying to learn about more now. So yeah, the truth is, I don't know. I do want to buy a house within the next year, but I just don't want to rush into it and make a bad decision. Again, I want to decide, is it in London or Dublin? There's obviously pros and cons to each city, but yeah, so we'll see. But I do plan on buying hopefully within the next year or two. If you're bulking, should you train later when you've consumed more of your calories? No, it does not make a difference. Really look at things on a 24-hour basis. That's my best advice for your training. Nutrition simplifies it a lot. I often say that as well. If you watch this channel regularly, you will know to do that. I'd actually make the opposite argument, is that if you're kind of like full, like if you're really bulking on a high amount of calories, you're having these large meals, you're gonna feel like you have a rock in your stomach if you train straight away afterwards. So when I'm bulking, I actually like to train, have a light breakfast, train after that, and then consume most of my calories later in the day. But again, I'm just focusing on my total caloric intake for the 24 hours, and I'm focusing on, just getting to the gym when I feel best. So yeah, to answer your question, there's no better or worse. Train when you feel best in the day, really. Should you wait till you become a qualified PT before starting a fitness channel? No, if you want to document your progress online, on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever it may be, that's great. If it gives you motivation, accountability, go for it. You don't need to be qualified PT to do that. If you want to start coaching people, well then yes, I do recommend getting a PT qualification. But if you're just documenting your progress, then don't worry about it, man. And I actually recommend people to do that. It'll be good to look back on, and it's a great way to show you how far you've come. And again, even like in life, I think everyone should start a YouTube channel. Like even when I look back on old videos of mine, I'm like, whoa, it's so crazy to see a detailed video of what I was doing that day. So it's nuts. I think everyone should start YouTube. Hair is not great. It's all right. Was it hard starting off? Did your pals support or mess with you? They mess with me, but in a good way. They all supported me. They reposted everything when I started my YouTube channel. Even before that, when I started my Facebook blog, they were all so good about it. And yeah, they made fun of me, but in a nice way. That's what Irish people do. They make fun of each other. It's a dark Irish humor. But I've seen online stories of groups of people, especially like with girls as well, the bitching about someone who tries to start a new project and talking down on them, saying, who do you think they are? They're not your friends. This is the worst thing you could surround yourself with. And it's also like, people are so quick to support these celebrities that they don't even know, and the celebrities don't even need their support. They're so quick to support these people, and then they won't support or shout out their friends that are actually known them for years. I think that's the most ridiculous thing ever. And if your friends are doing that, you need to look for a different friend group, because it's so ridiculous. So before you start, supporting these celebrities, start supporting the people that you do know and have known for years. What is your most character forming experience? I have to say it's this. It's the whole online journey that I've been on the last 5 years. It's brought me on a worldwide adventure. I've met people from so many different walks of life and parts of the world. You couldn't even make it up. Like it's just been absolutely crazy. And it's made me better myself as a person in every way imaginable. Physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. It's been crazy. So you're witnessing it. This is the most character forming thing I've ever done. Me trying to leave an imprint on the world. That is it. Would you like to come to Latin America? Argentina is beautiful. I heard Argentina has the best steak in the world. South America, I've never been, and that is on the top of my to-do list. But again, when the world sorts itself out, then I'll go. How long do you think it would take the average dude to reach your physique? When you say like reach this physique, reach that physique, it's like actually look at how bodies can differ so much depending on genetics. Like the shape of some humans compared to other humans is so different. My physique, no one's gonna look the exact same. There'll be a lot of people who look similar, but we all have, different genetic makeups. But I get what you're saying, in terms of like, level of beginner, intermediate, advanced. I get what you're saying. But probably if you look at my 10-year transformation video, I made most of my gains after about 3 to 4 years. So that's the answer as well. You're gonna see most of your progress in the first 3 to 4 years. And then it's just downhill from there. Then it is slow gains. How often do you spend time alone, and what do you like when doing so? I spend a lot of time alone. I don't know if this is right or wrong. Again, I don't know, so feel free to correct me. Is they say an extrovert gets energy from being around other people, and an introvert gets energy from being on their own. In that case, I'm an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert, I think, because I definitely get energy from being on my own. I spend so much time on my own and I love it. I'll just, listen to podcasts or listen to a book. I'll watch documentaries. I'll cook. I love being on my own, and I think that's a good trait that I have. I think some people go crazy when they're left with their own thoughts, and then, I think they got some underlying issues to address possibly. So yeah, I spend a lot of time on my own, and I really enjoy my downtime, my alone time, and I think that's where I get my energy from. And it kind of makes sense, because when I'm around other people or even speaking to the camera, I'm like boom, 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 so much energy. And then, when I get in, I'm like recharging, I'm like not speaking, giving my voice box a rest. There's some people out there watching that probably read a lot more into being introverted or extroverted. Comment down below, what do you think I am? They're like, dickhead. Is YouTube still your main source of income? It never was. It's what you do with the views and what you do with your audience that provides the income. Yeah, I do get a check from Google at the end of every month, but it's, where I direct people to, like, the pre-workout, Project X, my ebooks, my physical book, my app, that's my income there. So YouTube, it's a lovely check at the end of the month, but it's about what you do with the views that is going to contribute to your main source of income, or mine anyways. There is some huge YouTubers, like massive mainstream ones, like PewDiePie, for example, that will get a ridiculous check from YouTube every month. How do you come up with YouTube ideas when many of them are already existed? It is absolutely fine to do a video that someone else has done before. Am I the only person to ever do a 10,000 calorie challenge? Am I the first to do it? No. Do I care if someone does a bicep workout similar to mine? No. It's like saying, oh God, I can't start a clothing company because other people have made t-shirts. It's like, you didn't invent the t-shirt, but you can still make t-shirts. It's absolutely fine to do, and just put your own spin on things. I think there's hundreds of millions of YouTube videos out there. Every idea is probably being done, So don't worry about that at all. Just put your own unique spin on it and have fun making it. And if you do see a video and you say, I want to do that, even just say, hey, I watched this guy's video, I'm going to try it out as well. So don't worry about that at all. What would your last meal be on death row? I think about this more often than I probably should. It would be sushi, pizza, and froyo in that order. After that, strap me up to the electric chair. Spark me up. I'm done. I'm happy. I'm leaving this planet a fed man. Hey Rob, hope all is good, dude. Do you think you can build muscle on a 3 times per week split? Yes, I've got one on my website that's absolutely sick that everyone's making gains on. For a beginner, I recommend doing 3 times full body per week. Main reason is you are doing the main compound lifts regularly and getting stronger at them. That is like what should be your main focus as a beginner lifter, is just getting familiar with squat, bench, deadlift, pull-ups, rows, all that good stuff, okay? They're gonna be the bread and butter of your routine. So doing them regularly is gonna fast track your progress. So yes, 3 times per week split is even good. Even past a beginner, as long as there's progression, you're gonna make gains. So yeah, I love 3 times full body, and I even do that when I know I've got a hectic week and I know I'm only gonna make it to the gym 3 times per week. I'll run my full body split just to keep frequency high. Would you like to do an Athlete Europe tour? Paris, Berlin, Madrid, Milano. That would be absolutely amazing. Last Athlete tour, like huge Europe one we did, was in 2017. To this date, it was one of the best trips I've ever been on in my entire life, especially the Amsterdam part. Christian Guzman in Amsterdam is a sight to be seen, I will tell you that much. And Guz, if you're watching this, I miss you a lot. Now, last question, but safe to say, this was 50% of the questions. Literally every second question was, where is Linda? And don't worry, it's all good. I'm gonna speak about that later in the week. I try to keep my relationships and my private life off the internet as much as possible, but I do understand that this is what I signed up for, and that, my life is online pretty much. So again, I'll talk about that later in the week, very soon. So yeah, much love. Honestly, I'm so grateful for this channel and the people that watch it, more importantly. Like, I honestly have one of the most supportive and positive communities online that I've ever seen, and don't think for a second that I take that for granted. So have a great week, guys. I love you. Keep it real.